Hey, it's Jan Lou from Set Squad, and I'm here with.
Jarrod Whitaker. I'm happy to be with the Set Squad today. We're on location in the Bronx,
Yes.
about to talk about real estate, entertainment, and community.
Hmm.
I'm very excited to be coming later this month to participate in one of the events as a key guest, and excited for everything in front of us.
I'm excited to have you here. So you're known as the godfather of real estate in Harlem. Did I say that right? Did I get it
Yes,
right?
affectionately known
Affectionately known
as the
as.
real estate godfather of Harlem.
So tell me, how did you get that name?
Great question. So I think before I got into real estate, the story goes back a little bit further because I was in the music industry.
Oh, really?
So I was signed to Universal Records. I work with a lot of artists from the late '90s, early 2000s, including R. Kelly, Aaliyah, Bad Boy. Some of these names are a little bit scandalous right now, but did a lot of work with hip hop and R&B acts, and was signed to Universal Records and Sylvia Rhone. The music industry went through a downturn in the mid 2000s where downloading files and file sharing kind of took the bottom out of the industry. So at that time, my eldest daughter was born, and I had to make a decision if I was going to keep chasing the music industry dream and sleeping on studio couches and everything, or have health insurance. So I actually started at a very humble level in the real estate industry as a mailroom clerk, temping, making $10 an hour. And the partners at the firm that I worked for took a liking to me, and I was very curious to learn how they were doing, $1 million, $1 billion transactions and deals. Got an opportunity to intern after work and work my way up from being an assistant project manager to a director, vice president, and today I'm a senior vice president for a $22 billion firm.
Wow.
I'm given the abbreviated version, but during that path, I was able to complete my undergraduate degree at Columbia University, my master's in real estate development at NYU, Shack Institute of Real Estate, and then obtain a business certification from Harvard School of Business. So today, I think tying it back to the reason why I'm referred to as the Godfather of Harlem is because it's really community driven, and that I've had such a unique path, unique experiences, that my passion is really mentoring young people and giving them an opportunity to learn about real estate, financial literacy, the stock market, and just opening their horizons beyond what has been traditionally cool in our community. We're only going to have so many LeBron James and Jay-Z's and 50 Cents, but there's, a lot of people who've done very well and created wealth and have, rich careers as professionals, whether they're doctors, a real estate executive like me, an engineer in the tech space, an entrepreneur, a tradesperson. Like, there's so many different paths that people can find success. So I think right now, with me being an 80s baby, it's all about, trying to push culture in the Black community, where we open up our horizon beyond, what has been traditional in the past.
Wow, that's amazing. That's awesome. Kudos for those accomplishments.
Absolutely.
Very inspiring, and just the idea that a lot of kids say, "Oh, I want to be this when I grow up. I want to be Michael Jordan or LeBron." There's more to it than just that,
Absolutely. I mean, I think, what is it, like 20 some NBA teams? I think it's 300 players.
Very limited spots.
And it's 40 some million Black people in the United States.
Yeah. So
we have to have some other alternatives.
Yeah. That's like winning a lotto right there.
Yeah.
Right?
Beyond that. But, I've been able to become a multimillionaire through real estate, as an executive, a real estate owner, being able to have, consulting and commissions has been very lucrative for me. So I want to share that knowledge and information. I've gone into elementary schools, middle schools. I've gone into Rikers Island to teach financial literacy. So it's something I'm very passionate about.
That's amazing. And I love that you're all about community and helping your community, because there are folks who are in a similar seat as you, and they're not looking back at their community. Yeah. They're just, going for the gold, and they're not thinking about those things. So.
No, I have sat up many nights just looking at the whole thing, because I think, speaking for my community, I'm African American. We can't be so tied up in just the general election every 4 years and put our hopes and dreams into someone sitting in the White House and thinking that's going to change. I think that the biggest opportunity for Black people in America is really to foster economic empowerment and for us to harness that $1.8 trillion in consumer spending and really start to become producers instead of consumers, right? Everybody likes to have nice things. We all have nice things, but I think education, economic opportunities, and really, building our communities back up is important. I'll give an analogy. If you think about it, let's say there were 10 families that lived on a block, and one family had an emergency or had a crisis, and people are going to be generous to an extent. Here, well, I'll give you some soap. I'm going to give you some bread. They're going to give from their surplus, but are they ever going to put the needs of that other family before their basic needs?
Most likely no.
They're not, right? So we should focus on, political activism and those things, but really, in my opinion, the core is economic empowerment and education. Those are the two things that are going to make the most dramatic change in our community, and we have to look towards ourselves, and that's the biggest opportunity we have.
And that's so true, because obviously there's it's not equal, the wealth distribution in this world. So we're lacking, and like you say, financial literacy is something that a lot of us don't have, depending on where your family's from and how you grew up. So
absolutely,
you're starting it off.
Absolutely, and that's not to take away from. We know historically what has happened with Black people in America. We understand that even today there's systemic, issues and different things. But again, I advocate for the fact that there's a greater opportunity for you to utilize technology, education, mentorship. There's no one who's going to prevent you from enrolling in a program or accessing information. I grew up in the 80s where you had to go to the public library and get on the microfiche, and information wasn't there. Every kid walking around right now has a smartphone in their pocket. They can access just about anything within seconds. So the world is changing. AI is coming into play, and this is the biggest opportunity in the history of America for Black people to close the wealth gap by focusing on these key points.
Knowledge is power, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, I love that. I'm a realtor.
Yes.
I'm licensed in New York State, so I do I've done commercial rentals and sales and rentals as well. So someone like me that's looking to say, hey, I want to get up to that level, the Jarrod level. What do you recommend for someone who's already in the industry and wants to expand and grow?
That's a great question. And I think I often start with that when I'm mentoring people. So, for yourself as a realtor, so the investment to go through one of the accredited schools is a few $100s. You take the exam at John Street, it costs $50, right? So for the price of a pair of sneakers, getting a license is not a very expensive thing, right? And then as a licensed salesperson, as a realtor, developing a network. So, when I started, I went to local faith-based organizations. I met with people in the community. I passed out business cards. I passed out flyers, just marketing me and saying, hey, if you're interested in buying, renting, selling, if you know someone that's looking to do that, I have expertise and I want to be helpful. And I've been, blessed to make hundreds of thousands of dollars in commissions since getting my license back in 2006. And once I learned, okay, great, getting the one-time commission is great, but that residual income that comes from ownership was even more impressive. So I bought my first co-op in Soundview in the Bronx in 2008 for $81,000. I resold it for $200,000 in a 5-year time frame. And that was really the seed for me to then start investing in other properties. So I own multiple properties in Harlem. I own properties in Philadelphia and Westchester, etc. So I think, just having the discipline to say when that income comes in from commissions or other income, having the discipline to reinvest it.
So reinvestment is the key.
Reinvestment is key.
Okay.
Deferred gratification and reinvestment. I have a ethos that I follow where anytime I come into commissions or unplanned for income, I do 3 things. I invest, pay down debt, and then I'll invest in myself. Right. So learning, being a avid learner and continuing your education, no matter what station you are in life, is super important.
Education. Okay. All right. That's great. So we're going to be at the S.E.T Mixer. It's going to be happening in Harlem.
Absolutely.
And so it's going to be on February 27th. Hope to see you guys there. One of our key speakers.
Absolutely.
Come meet the man in person.
Yes. Looking forward to seeing everybody out, and shout out to my boy Derby, the S.E.T squad, and I'm excited to participate and be involved. You know, Black is Beautiful is Black History Month, so we'll talk about, you know, financial literacy, economic empowerment, and how we can be fly and get wealthy at the same time.
Oh, I love that. Be fly and get wealthy. That's my mantra for 2026.
Absolutely.
Wait, 2026, 2025. I'm skipping ahead. I'm skipping ahead. Straight through. All right. It was a pleasure speaking to you.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me, Janlo.
Yes. Thank you.